welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Mr. Toots, and this is his take on Jund Food Insidious Roots. I played a build of Insidious Roots on the channel about a month ago. It was built around Willowgeist, which is a 1/1 creature for 1 that gets bigger when cards leave your graveyard. I would call that league unsuccessful, respectfully. We learned a bunch of stuff that didn't work in a shell like this, and luckily Mr. Toots was already in my recording queue for a very similar deck completely unrelated to the other submission. In the time since that deck went live, Modern Horizons 3 has come out, and Mr. Toots has seen that video and done a bunch of his own testing with his own build, and lessons learned, here we are. The core interaction of this deck is Asmo with the Underworld Cookbook and Oval Chase Daredevil. This is a way to basically tap Cookbook to get a food every turn, because the food is an artifact that returns Oval Chase Daredevil to your hand. And while you're doing that, the deck does other stuff. Insidious Roots. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, make a 0/1 plant token, then put a +1 counter on each plant you control, and creature tokens you control tap for mana. When you're recurring your Oval Chase Daredevil to make food, you're also making a plant and growing your plants and netting mana. Inti Central of the Sun. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library, you may play that card until your next end step. When you discard the Daredevil, that triggers Inti. It also has combat text where Inti can get card selection and occasionally card advantage just by attacking. Chthonian Nightmare. This is a fun one from MH3. There's a one of these. This can move creatures in and out of your graveyard. You can turn an Oval Chase Daredevil into an Inti or something into a Troll if you build up some energy. And this will trigger all the things that happen when cards leave your graveyards. And I think the biggest upgrade is NETHERGOYF. This is in the spot that Willowgeist was in the other build of this that I played. And unlike Willowgeist, that always shows up as a 1/1, and then you need to be doing what your deck wants to do anyway to make it any bigger. NETHERGOYF will just show up as a 3/4, 4/5, 5/6, whatever. It's huge. You could play it on turn 1 and watch it grow, or you could play it on turn 2 or 3 when it's already huge. And the fact that it has escape means that it can make things leave your graveyard for Insidious Roots. Kind of the perfectly constructed card for this deck. The way we actually win is by controlling the board with Asmo. She can kill off creatures by sacrificing foods. Urza Saga tokens become huge when you're just cranking out foods every turn. NETHERGOYF is really big, and we just try to outgrind them with value and then bash them with giant creatures. The Modern format right now is very powerful. I'm recording this like 2 days after Pro Tour Amsterdam, where Nadu was clearly broken and unreasonable. You all probably won't see this for a week and a half to 2 weeks. I don't know if they're going to emergency ban anything out of Nadu, making some of my opponent's decks this league irrelevant, or if they are going to wait till August. But this is the format I have right now, and I'm going to jump in. This is Mr. Toots' Jund Roots Food. I'm on the draw in round 1. Double Saga, unfortunately for mana. Gonna have to mulligan this. Okay, I like this. Roots Daredevil. Seed of Hope is the cantrip you get to play in this deck. This is kind of a cool card. I'm going to bottom one of the seeds. But this thing, you mill 2 cards, and you can put a permanent card from among those 2 cards into your hand. Then you gain 2 life. So it's some incidental life gain. It can trigger Insidious Roots. It counts as a card leaving your graveyard. And it helps you pay out a deck that is full of permanents. Ooh, we're getting griefed with the new Best Friends art, or whatever this is called. Secret Visitors. Special Guests. That's what it's called. The Secret Visitor was always grief. This art of grief is pretty gross. It's just like 10 hands tearing open somebody's chest. Is grief pulling open its own chest? What's going on here? Looks like there's more hands inside the chest. This is what we get to do when we're getting griefed. Just look at art and wish we were playing Magic. Grief sucks. It's probably more okay in Modern than it is in Legacy, but still. Miserable card. I'm over it. They followed up with Beseiju. after pitching Street Wraith. So this is probably Living End, would be my guess. NETHERGOYF, get in there. So my deck is pretty good at dumping cards into its own graveyard, but not as good as Living End, especially on the draw. They cycle Generous End for Breeding Pool, Shockton Breeding Pool. Pirate's Spellbomb doesn't do anything. I can trigger Inti here, discard Oval Chase Daredevil, and then if they Living End next turn, I get a 4-2 back. That doesn't seem like it's actually going to win the game. So I think I'm going to cast Insidious Roots and just hope that they whiff on a win the game card. It's an unlikely hope, but I can't really beat anything they're doing if they just curve out into Living End. Yeah, they had the Waker of the Waves. If they have Land Cascade spell, we are Deadzos. Okay. They're doing a main phase Waker. That must mean they don't have the Cascade spell because they bend a land here. Okay. Now they have mana for... Maybe they had the Ardent Plea, but not a white source. That did buy me a turn. Not that it's going to matter much. I don't think there's any main deck. Oh, there is a Relic of Progenitus I could dig for. Okay. Well, all right. We have an out. I'm going to play Inti. I'm going to attack with NETHERGOYF, discard Oval Chase Daredevil, and hope I draw a Relic of Progenitus, which is going to be too slow because I don't have 2 mana. Okay, flipped a land. Not what I was looking for. Opponent's at 10. I can play out this Pyrite Spellbomb. At least Grief isn't going to get any free value here. Ooh, this does trigger Insidious Roots, but I don't think I want to. Wait, hold on. Living End doesn't actually trigger this, does it? Oh, yes, it does. Living End puts the cards into play from exile, not from the graveyard, so a creature does not enter from the graveyard. However, a creature does leave my graveyard when Living End exiles it, so I actually don't want to do this. All I can hope for is that they just don't have the Cascade spell, and maybe I can actually get over the finish line here. Interesting. Yep, they still have 3 mana. So that one was just free bonus money. And there it is. 22 cards revealed. I'm at least going to trigger my Insidious Roots. Scoreboard on that. I'm going to lose the game immediately, but we got that going. Moral victory, Grief doesn't take anything. I could also escape NETHERGOYF, or no, I need to exile Delirium, right? Exile 4 different card types. I have 3. I could put Pyrite Spellbomb in the graveyard and then escape NETHERGOYF. None of this matters. I'm just goofing. All right. To the sideboard. Vexing Bauble, definitely. Stone of Eric doesn't matter. Turn the Earth, definitely. I think these are the cards I can play that matter. Assassin's Trophy can come in for spots where we end up in the limited game. Where if they can't Living End and they just start casting 4 mana 3/3s and 5 mana 4/4s and whatever, the Assassin's Trophy is important there. Okay, Pyrite Spellbomb does not matter. Troll of Khazad-dûm is actually sick. Street Wraith is actually sick. Underworld Cookbook could be useful. I don't think Nightmare is going to be good here. I don't think I need that many roots. This game's not really going to be about grinding like that. Relic is good. NETHERGOYF was actually really impressive there. We did put them to the spot where if they didn't have it, they were dead, which is pretty cool in game 1 on the draw. We actually did apply a real pressure. I don't think I want Shadow Spear. I can imagine spots, especially if we shut down the graveyard, where this would be useful, but I can also see it just being a useless brick in a lot of other positions. I kind of think it's just another Roots here. That card is very cool, but it's not what this game's about. Okay, I have 2 hate cards in my opening hand I'm going to keep. I'm going to fetch something that taps for green, and I'll play Vexing Bauble, which turns off both Grief, Endurance, and Living End. I think I want to fetch Stomping Ground to maximize for Inti. Like any untapped land, I draw cast Inti if I lead on Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground is in. Vex you. This is the first fair and honest use of Vexing Bauble I've experienced. Normally in Legacy and Vintage is what I'm playing, and Vexing Bauble is used as a tutorable defense grid to protect your own combo. But I'm the good guy right now. Archive, Bind, and Architects. Can we get Inti going? Not yet. Alright. Seed of Hope, please hit a land. We did it. We hit multiple lands. Blackcleave Cliffs looks as good as anything here. And the Relic follow-up immediately start pressuring the graveyard. This is how we can beat Living End. and the Assassin's Trophy in my hand, this sideboard plan all coming together. They can't resolve Living End right now. They can't even really get stuff going with their graveyard if they could resolve Living End. But they can start casting creatures with stats, and that's where Assassin's Trophy comes in. They dumped an Ardent Plea. That card doesn't seem very good right now. Speaking of not good right now, here's a second Oval Chase Daredevil, but Inti can convert that into cards. But they have a blue mana. What are we doing with this? Cycling Architects. Yeah, they can't Subtlety either. I mean, they can, but it ends up in the graveyard. Wowie zowie, look at you, just discarding cards. And they might be doing that intentionally to get cards into their graveyard. If they have, like, Beseju, your Vexing Bauble, and then jam Living End, they are going to need some creatures in the graveyard. A Vexing Bauble, the hero we needed, who knew? Waker of the Waves. Dumped in Endurance. Hit a land. And they used this land that could have been a spell that clears Vexing Bauble, so they're working on something over there. Big plans. Attack with Inti. Discard an Oval Chase Daredevil. Hopefully get something going. Street Wraith. Yeah, that's not where I want that to be. Cannot cycle it from exile. I'm going to relic them here in combat while their graveyard is just all creatures I want to remove. Street Wraith. Nope, doesn't work. Pass the turn. Generous. End cycled. Now they're at 4 mana. They got Hedge Maze, though, so they're still selecting. And as long as I leave up 1 mana, I can pop Relic of Progenitus. That way, even if they answer the Bauble, I'm cool. Relic is a cool card in this deck, too, because you can target yourself with the tap ability and exile a creature here and there to trigger your roots. Seed of Hope. I'd rather attack first before I do that. Discard this other Oval Chase Daredevil. And he's getting pretty big. We got a 4/4. There's a NETHERGOYF. What's up? I'm going to target my opponent with Relic. I don't think I'm going to Seed of Hope. I'm just going to put this creature into play and leave Relic up. If Seed of Hope hits a land, I'm very happy with that. If it misses, then I have to burn off the NETHERGOYF, and I think taking a turn off the clock is where I need to be. Okay, so they do have Beseju. I'm going to let this resolve. I actually do kind of want the land. I can even get Mortuary and another Daredevil. That's 3 of those gone. I'm likely to have to Relic this turn. Yeah, if I had the extra mana, I would have drawn a card there, but I don't, so I have to leave up the Relic activation so I don't lose immediately. Ardent Plea. Cascades into Living End. They can cycle more cards in response here, and this will kill my 2 creatures even if nothing comes back. I drew the 4th Daredevil. Sick. They keep coming. Oh wow, Living End just resolved as a Wrath of God. I wasn't expecting that. I thought for sure they would cycle a Street Wraith and a Curator of Mysteries in response and just be back in. Okay, let's try to make something happen here. Seed of Hope. I'll start with this. Troll of Khazad-dûm in the graveyard. I actually want to put that in my hand because it triggers Inti when I cycle it. It also enables Asmo if I draw one. Just some extra synergies there compared to just taking the land directly. Cycling a Curator. They're getting back to work here. End step, I'm going to cycle the other Surveil land, or fetch the other Surveil land. Commercial District. There are still 2 swamps in the deck for Troll. Uh-oh. There will be 1 swamp in the deck. That's enough. I don't want this. Okay, draw for turn. Hope it's not the basic swamp. It is the Asmo. Look at me playing in my outs. Cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm. Triggers Inti. Oh, I flipped another Asmo. Sick. Oh, there was an Overgrown Tomb. We were fine the whole time. Pass this Asmo. When she enters the battlefield, I get an Underworld Cookbook. They could have something like Force of Negation. Discard a card, make a food token. I'm going to do the Daredevil first. This triggers Inti. Seed of Hope. What's up? Food triggers, gets back the Daredevil. Unless they have Endurance. Disappointing, but fair. I can't make another artifact in response to this. Seed of Hope is an instant. Does that possibly do anything here? I don't think so. Okay, that's handled. And now I could Assassin's Trophy, then attack. That makes their next thing better, their next Living End. I could also spam Asmos here, and a Legend Rule, but I get another Underworld Cookbook. And that also shuffles my last Oval Chase Daredevil back into the deck, where it might be more useful. And I'm not going to attack a 3/3 into a 3/4. Okay, we're chilling. Asmo attacks as a 4/4 next turn, and I have multiple foods to start causing trouble. This game has turned out super cool. I do feel myself falling behind, but this has been a really good back and forth game. This attack is mildly suspicious, because that's what was keeping my attackers back, and they just sent it. That makes me feel like they're about to living end, or they have another endurance. If they living end, though, my board ends up exactly the same. Okay. They pitch cast endurance, pitching Shardless Agent, which means that they have another way to cascade. So they're going to clear my graveyard and then get back 2 things. Yep, okay. Pretty good. But my board ends up the same either way. In play was Inti Asmo, graveyard was Inti Asmo, hand is Inti Asmo. That's funny. All right, let's draw that 1 outer Daredevil right now. Bring the hand together. Street Wraith, count it. Would have liked it a second ago, but I have it now. Okay, Insidious Roots. They're not currently super useful. I'm always happy with Asmo. Get another cookbook. Do I need 3 cookbooks? I think I should play Inti next. And then I can discard one of these 3 cookbooks. That gets me a food that can kill the curator. Flip the troll. Yeah, there is some non-synergy in this deck for sure of where the cards end up when you do have a bunch of cycle monsters. Asmo is likely to just hunt this curator. In response to your exalted triggers, that thing's going to deal 6 damage to itself. Now with Roots in play, if Street Wraith leaves my graveyard, whether it's Endurance or Living End, I at least get a trigger. Ay caramba. Okay. Usually they only play 3 Living Ends. Alright, so Roots is sick because it triggered on the Living End and on the Endurance. Alright. That wasn't bad, all things considered. I mean, it's not good, but... Okay, I'm just going to trophy the Curator. And they don't have a Swamp, so I'm not bringing the beats yet. I think this Verdant Catacombs is more useful as a discard than anything else. The Exalted off Ardent play actually matters a lot on this board. It gives them attacks where they otherwise wouldn't have them. I could just double block, though. Yeah, I'll just double block. Trade Street Wraith for Shardless Agent. Or get blown out by Brazen Borrower, or sink into Stupor. All of the above are reasonable. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to float a blue off my token. Then Street Wraith dies. And then in the end step, I'm going to sacrifice Cookbook to get my Street Wraith back, which will also trigger Roots. We're grinding hard at this point. Any little thing helps. Another trophy, okay. Serious question, do I want to cycle Street Wraith for a card or cast it as a 5-mana 3/4? I think I want the card. You replay the last Cookbook. That can rebuy Street Wraith again if I want to. Oh good, they're attacking with the bigger one. I was about to start talking about how maybe we need to activate Cookbook mid-combat and make my plans bigger and trade off with Shardless Agent because I want to save Assassin's Trophy for Endurance, but then they just attacked with Endurance instead. Probably because they did the combat math. I think I'm just going to pop Cookbook on Wraith right now. I know Cookbook ties together some other stuff that's going on, but I'm in the Roots game now. These plants are getting big enough to attack through Shardless Agent, and my opponent's at 10. Okay, I'm going to attack with 2 of the plants, the ones that are big enough to party. They lined up a chump block, then changed their mind. I think I want to cycle Wraith still. Probably should have done that pre-combat in case I could have made things bigger. But just having literally anything going on in my graveyard, if they have a 4th Living End. They cycled a Wraith, they're down to 3. They're evoking Grief. Pitching a Grief. I have no cards. Is there a 4th Living End, and is the last card in your hand a Cascade spell? Right, that's a Curator of Mysteries. That is a big flying creature. And no attacks from them. Let's go. Street Wraith. I still have faith that there are spells in my deck. Nope, there's not. Never mind. I don't have good attacks here. I'm dead in 2 hits from Curator, but Urza Saga's about to start doing stuff. Wow, let's go. That was sick. We did basically everything the deck can do. Maybe Insidious Roots is better than I thought it was. Seeing that Living End, that recurred Endurance that triggered Roots twice and kept me in the game was really cool. An eye-opening experience. But what would I cut for this Roots? NETHERGOYF is just a creature with stats. Asmo takes setup. Inti is the best kind of standalone card in this whole deck. I think I'm going to cut a Goyf. It's just a creature with stats. Okay. This hand curves out and does stuff. Flooded Strand from the opponent. I don't think I lead on Saga. I think I play Saga on turn 2 with the intent to actually make constructs. I don't have a Soul Guide Lantern. Like, Relic is the thing I can tutor the Graveyard Hate. And even that would be a turn slow because I'm on the draw. They just milled away in Endurance. Nice to see that go. I'm going to cook this Daredevil into a book. Then Saga Inti. Inti reads, you may play the cards until your next end step. So if I loop a Daredevil on their turn, I get a card for my whole turn. Generous Ent. Architects of Will. If they send it right now, they have a 3/4, 3/3, and a big thing. Magic Online is warning me that it's about to go into downtime. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get this match over. Griefing me. That's not going to go well for them. I'm going to discard Daredevil in response, just to make sure I get the food and the flip. But every card in my hand is a creature. If I cycle Wraith, they might have to NETHERGOYF. I'm worried if they also can pitch an Endurance here, though. Like, if I go 2 all in and just have nothing left, fudge it. I'm going to cycle Wraith. And I drew Troll. Okay, so they have to take a creature no matter what. These all trigger Inti. If they have pitch Endurance and then Cascade Spell, they're fine. But if they just have Cascade Spell, my board's actually pretty presentable. We did see them mill over an Endurance on their first Surveil land. That might be because they already have one, or it might be because they just needed to hit a land drop. There's not enough to be sure. Okay, we're just sending a living in. Okay, all our creatures come back. Theirs are bigger than mine. And they have a bunch of cool triggers. I'm definitely behind, but at least that wasn't a full Plague Wind plus Reanimate. I do have something going on here. They stack the triggers correctly, so the grief happens before the Endurance, and my Troll's gone. And how sick would a Roots have been on this board, though? Okay, I have this Seed of Hope in my hand, and they did just manipulate the top of my deck. I'm going to fire Seed of Hope in the upkeep, clear the 2 bad cards. Oh, sick. Get back. Oval Chase Daredevil. Gain 2 life. Then draw another Daredevil, sure. Can never have too many of those, am I right? I'm going to make 1 food now, and I'll save the other one for later. Wait, I don't have another one. Oh, right. I have multiple Daredevils, not multiple cookbooks. I don't know how anything works. What is Magic the Gathering? Okay, they were kind of moving cards in and out of combat, like not really sure what's going to go where. And then figured out the correct answer is just slam it sideways. I'm going to make all my obvious and correct blocks. And if they have a trick or a bounce spell or a removal spell or whatever, then they got me. Endurance makes NETHERGOYF smaller. Okay. So they had 1 trick. I think I can afford to eat one of these foods. Do I need to do that? What if I draw Asmo? No, I'd rather have 4 foods in play. My life total is still pretty flush. A draw for turn. Insidious Roots is here. Bummer. I really wanted to make a construct, but I think Roots is just way the shit better. Alright, I'm going to float a colorless here. Get another cookbook and just start doing crazy Roots-related activities. Another cookbook. Yes, get back Daredevil. Overgrown Tomb. Zap it in. Black-green. Roots. Discard a Daredevil. Get a food. Get a plant. Then discard a Daredevil. Get a food. Get a plant. And then right now, while I still have a colorless floating, gain 3 life. I didn't find an Asmo, and my life total is under pressure. But I'm doing the thing. Let's see if it's enough. Yeah, they still have good attacks. I'm going to double block Endurance and block Shardless Agent. And I take 8 here. They're killing my token rather than my actual creature. That makes sense. The token will be bigger pretty soon. I can tutor a 3rd cookbook and really just crank them out. I might want to get Relic of Progenitus, though, just to put up the walls. They Wakered into a Flooded Strand, fetching the Flooded Strand. I don't think there's a way that they can Cascade right now. Tutor another basic. Beseiju my Saga. Okay, that's smart. That does stop me from tutoring Relic. I'll get Underground Mortuary. Inti. Right on the tippity top. Yes, I would like to draw 1,000 cards next turn. Okay, Inti, play that, and then start making foods and plants and flipping cards. Inti triggers, flipped an Asmo, let's go. Yes, get this back. The engine's online here. Asmo can tutor another cookbook, and I can afford to shock this in. I'm at 3, but we're chilling. Do I want to keep flipping cards now? I don't think so. I think I want to attack for 3. And yeah, I will put a +1 counter on it. Attack for 4, flipped Assassin's Trophy. I would have liked to cast that, but I only have 1 mana right now. Oh, wait, if I can get multiple Daredevils in my graveyard to trigger off a single food, they each come back on their own, and that gives me multiple roots. Yeah, it's starting to happen here. Shardless Agent, okay. Okay, so now I'm going to discard Daredevil, flip a card, make a food. I do not want these Daredevils back. Recycling Curator now. And then discard this Daredevil, make another food, exile another card. I still don't want these back. What I can do, target creature deals 6 to itself. How about this Street Wraith? And then how about this Inti? And then how about Asmo herself? Okay, your thing resolves. Oh, wait. they have a graveyard full of endurances. That doesn't matter. Oh, wait, no, the thing has to resolve first. It does matter. Of course it does. Okay. I was right the first time. At this point, I'm just F6'd. There is not a grief happening, so I will get another Cookbook. Opponent's at 353 on their clock. Blackcleave Cliffs was a good find. So I play this Cookbook, play the Swamp from Exile. I can attack with one of these Daredevils, discard a card, flip another card. I just kind of want a Daredevil to die. Vexing Bauble, right on time. Please block, please block, please block, please block, please commit to this. Oh my god. Because that puts one of those in my graveyard that kicks on the food engine, but kicks on the plant engine, and we are fully back in business at this point. I think they should have just taken 4 there. Okay, doing stuff. Flip to Bloodstain Mire. Get this back. Get a plant. This is all fodder that Asmo can light my opponent up with. Exile a Street Wraith. That's not helpful. Daredevil. Go again. Flipped an Urza's Saga. I've already made my land drop. I guess I can be doing this on their turn. Okay, pass. My board is huge. I can kill their flyer. Wow, we did it! That was an incredible match of Magic the Gathering. This engine fully kicked on and demonstrated the appeal of this deck. Let's freaking go.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
We're on the draw for round 2. And they're a Jeggy, which could mean prowess, could be a breach combo of some variety. Basically, regardless, I'm keeping my hand. It needs red mana. Okay, it looks like Domain Zoo. Good chance we just get run over here. Well, let's see what shakes loose. Can't wait to chump block Ragavan. Whoa, what is this? Magic Online just came back from downtime, and whatever's going on here. Holy smokes. What are we representing? Is this something I can turn off? Is that Summoning Sickness? Animate Summoning Sickness. Turn that off. Oh, God. All right, well, whatever that is, it's fine. I'll get used to it. That card looks crazy, though. Yeah, even if I just draw on a fetch land to cast this NETHERGOYF off of, it would be better. Guess I'm getting hit with Ragavan. Not the biggest deal. Not blocking. You get a flip. And you got Oval Chase Daredevil off the top of my deck. You're unlikely to cast that. Territorial Kavu. Yeah, these creatures are much larger than my creatures. Oh, okay. Suddenly Asmo. Cycle this. Get Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt. Play Asmo. This is a lot of damage, and I'm on the draw. Take this Cookbook. The Kavu does have the exile text on it. Yeah, I think I'm a turn behind where I need to be here. Plus, they have cards in hand. If they just cast a removal spell, I'm in the garbage. Yeah, clearly this like crazy spiral effect is Summoning Sickness. That's what's being represented. Kavu exiles my Troll. It would not surprise me to see a Leyline Binding here because the Ragavan's in combat. Yep. And now I have a 0/1 and nothing. Okay. I'm not going to discard my creature for no reason. I'll take a hit here. They exiled another Asmo. Wild Nacatl. This actually seems like a deck that I can stabilize against if they don't have the Scion. But I mean, obviously that was a slaughter. Honestly, I think if I just had a fetch land to turn on the Nethergoyf, not Necrogoyf, that's a different card that's much worth. The Nethergoyf would have been okay there. Okay, Relic doesn't matter. Pirate Spellbomb's too small to kill anything. I like Shadow Spear, I like my cookbooks. Chthonian Nightmare I think is too slow. I might not want Haywire Might if I have all these Pick Your Poisons in. These can clear the Scions or the Ley Lines. I think they're good enough to have in high numbers. Straight Wraith, I don't really want to be reducing my life total, though I understand that is my fastest route to an Asmo, who is one of my better cards. Definitely some tension here. Roots is really good if it gets going, but it is a blank. Like the first copy, you do need room to deploy it, where I'd rather have all these removal spells over that. And I think I'm going down another Wraith here. That leaves me with Cookbook, Inti, 1 Wraith, 1 Troll to turn on Asmo. I think that's enough enablers to make it work. All right, let's do it. Okay, I can poison them. I have Cookbook. This is pretty slow, but I really like being able to kill a ley line, especially on turn 1 like this, which is their turn 0. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Kind of hoping their whole hand just fails. Like they just have like basic forest and a bunch of red spells. That would be great. They do have a fetch land. They do not cast a spell with it. Seed of Hope. All right. Something to do. I'm going to cast that. Found a Nethergoyf. I'll take that one. And then fetch for a black source. I think I can afford my basic here. Yeah, that's fine. Big ol' 3/4. Who's the zoo deck now? It's still you. Please don't kill me. They could just cast a 5/5 right now pretty easily. Okay, it looks like they are going to have no trouble navigating the ley line. And cast a 5/5. Oof. Okay. I'm going to fetch right now for a Surveil land, because if I hit a Daredevil, we could do stuff. And look at this. Look at this. That's why you make plays, because sometimes it's there. Daredevil makes a food. Another cookbook. Blammo. Just like that, we're doing stuff. And this isn't actually doing anything yet. I need an Asmo to start killing all their things, but the engine is fully operational. If I find a Roots or an Asmo or an Inti, I'm just shredding. Kavu is exiling a card type from my graveyard. Not a lot of sorceries in my deck. That was a pretty good exile. Harsh Mentor. If the opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land. Jeez. Okay. Well, who's laughing now? Not me. The Nadu technology killing me. Seed of Hope. Could get something going here. I could just cast Daredevil as a 4/2. I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to Seed of Hope. Looking for a sweet, sweet permanent that makes something happen. Another Daredevil doesn't help me. The Straight Wraith is a wash because I gain 2 life and then I can cycle this to draw another card. Currently, no targets for that. Ouch. Okay. And this deals 2 to me. Oh, cracking a food still does net 1 life. Why would Nadu do this to me? I'm just an innocent little engine deck trying to make it happen in the big world. Scion of Draco. All right. Well, I can kill that. The Harsh Mentor doesn't have an attack here. If they exile my Daredevil, I will just make a food in response. I'll take the damage for it. But having that around is nice. Give me that back. Give me that back. And I go to 8. Yep, I'm now at 8. I think I will gain the 1 life here. I go to 6, then up to 9. That is a net positive. I need something good here. That qualifies. Okay. So I go to 7. I'll end up at 5 here, but I do get to sweep their whole shit. Discard Daredevil. Yes, give me this back. Asmo. This is who we needed. Tutor the Cookbook. I'm going to cast the Cookbook first. Okay, Harsh Mentor. Destroy yourself. I go to 5. This is their moment to Lightning Bolt me if they're going to do it. Or Lightning Bolt the Asmo. I really hope they don't. That would be great. Dang. So I'd have to go to 1 here to kill Territorial Kavu. Can I beat Territorial Kavu otherwise? And I can gain life. All right, yeah. I guess this It's just going to have to happen. Then I can make them sack a creature with flying. And then I'll make a food. And make a food. Do I want to cycle this troll? I think I do. I'll get Overgrown Tomb and play it tapped. And hope they don't have a removal spell right now. I'm going to have to chump block with Goyf and then hopefully gain a bunch of life with my foods and dig back out of this. That Asmo was a great draw, but the Bolt was a great counter to it. Seek the Beast. Exiled. Where are these things? Oh, they hit Tribal Flames. I'm dead. GG. Okay, just a little behind, but we saw how that could come my way, and the Harsh Mentor technology completely flipped it. That's a really good sideboard card that's not meant for me, but certainly worked. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play in round 3. I have a turn 1 NETHERGOYF, but if I want a turn 2 Roots, I have to lead on Commercial District. I think I'm going to lead on District. Having Roots active this early is pretty dope. Okay, we're playing against some Eldrazi strategy. Does that change what I want to do? I think it does. I'm going to fetch for Overgrown Tomb. Or do I want Blood Crypt in case I draw Inti? Okay, I think I want Blood Crypt. And I could cycle Wraith now to see if I spike Asmo. I didn't, that's fine. NETHERGOYF, get in. This thing can at least bash if they shove a Trinisphere on turn 1. This is a pretty awkward spot where I would like to play Urza Saga, but Insidious Roots costs color. And what if Urza Saga could tap for any color? That would make that card more reasonable to me. And it's a land that dies after 3 turns. It needs more upside. They've got Ugin's Labyrinth, and we know they have the Devourer to pitch to it. They got rid of Thought-Knot Seer that heralds and all is dust. Those are a scary 3 cards for them to not be interested in. There's Asmo. Late to the party. 1 card deep, or else that would have been a really good start. Does Roots do anything? The selection off Commercial District is not irrelevant. Saga versus Roots. I think versus the Eldrazi, potentially Prison deck, I would rather just have Saga going. Okay, so we could get line breakered here. That is what's happening. The race is on. This thing has +1/+0 and haste. Saga ticks up, which means Street Wraith. I can turn on Asmo with that. How much life do I want to lose here? Alright, Street Wraith, get after it. Asmo, you get after it as well. Get the Cookbook. I guess I'm playing Commercial District at this point because nothing else matters. I don't think I need another Cookbook. Play the one that I have, and chill. Now I'm on blocking duty, knowing that they are the aggressive version of this. They get to tutor a land. Eldrazi Temple. They can give something +2/+0 and haste. I will trade off NETHERGOYF for anything that comes in my way here. I'll eat the Linebreaker or trade with the Myco Spawn. Yep, block. You did your job, buddy. Just trade it with a 4-drop. Love to see it. I do need to start making food. I have black mana. I don't really think I'm going to be able to shock in this Overgrown Tomb. I'm just going to dump that and keep my basic land and Saga available. Inti. I like Inti. I think I like a Construct too, though. Yeah, the Construct will be really big. Shadow Spear, Relic, Pirate Spellbomb. Shadow Spear on this giant Construct might be how I can turn this game around. If it's possible. This is how it's done. Saga. And I'm not going to attack. They do have big spells in their deck, but even like All is Dust doesn't clear the important part of what I'm doing right now. If this is a kicked Myco Spawn, my Saga's gone. Reality Smasher. This is target of a spell, so I can kill that. But also just block it. Got options here. I've seen a lot of Eldrazi decks since MH3 came out, and I have not been Reality Smashed yet. Shout out to the classics. Okay, so they buffed their Linebreaker. Okay, so I can block Linebreaker, kill Smasher, and still have a 3/3 left over. That's what I'm going to do. Block there. Discard my Forest. Kind of nervous about losing lands this aggressively, but also trying to do something here. Okay, you deal 6 damage to yourself. Don't have to discard to that. This is a trade. The board is stable, and I have a Shadow Spear. Backup Asmo makes discarding much easier for me. I could play Inti and just go to combat. That gives up on the Saga, gives up on the Shadow Spear. I still think Inti's good, though. Or I could make a food pre-combat and maybe flip a land here. And then I get to equip the thing. All right, Straight Wraith was what I hit. I am going to discard the roots. I want to try to make something happen here. Okay, I hit a land. Second main, not really what I'm looking for, but at least we are keeping the party moving forward. Going to equip Shadow Spear to Inti. Now he's a 3/3, tangles with Line Breakers. We know this Devourer of Destiny is in their hand. Oh no, it's in Under the Labyrinth. Never mind. Exile a World Breaker. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana for Eldrazi spells. Lots of stuff still in their hand. They could have just cast this World Breaker, so I assume they have some other way to ruin my life. Yeah, we're past the little stuff and into the big stuff. It's a lot harder now. World Breaker. You want my Shadow Spear or my Urza Saga? I think I would target this Saga. Or this Saga, maybe, because this one is a one and done on the constructs. I think I would remove this Saga. Unless I'm actually worried about Shadow Spear, which I'm not totally convinced that you are. Okay, they went for Shadow Spear. Just going for size here. Size advantage rather than card or other advantage. I would very much like to draw an Oval Chase Daredevil this turn. That's the card that can set this game off for me. Inti is not it. Okay, so I can stack my Sagas, and then I can make a food with Inti. Like, discard the Inti. See what I flip before I make any other decisions. Inti flipped. Ooh, Chthonian Nightmare. Maybe we're gaming. Okay. First appearance of that one. Can I afford to make a construct if that's what's happening? What does this even do? Okay. I can loop Asmos and tutor out all my cookbooks. That doesn't do anything. My tutor options are Pyrite Spellbomb and Relic of Progenitus at this point, other than more cookbooks. Pyrite Spellbomb could draw a card or finish off the World Breaker. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, make a construct, tutor for Pyrite Spellbomb, have World Breaker, deal 6 to itself, finish it off with Spellbomb, and then attack for 6. Unfortunately, I have no cards to discard to Inti, and this is going to burn off the Nightmare. I just didn't have enough mana to make this thing work, and I'm not totally convinced it does anything. Anyway. Okay, I'm all in. These are my cards. If they have a single source of mana, they can put the World Breaker back in their hand with this Labyrinth and then just cast it off their other mana. Or they could just cast some other 8-drop. I definitely could have played this game a little slower. I spewed off a lot of cards early to Cookbook. Turns out the Cookbook engine is actually kind of bad if you don't have a Daredevil. It felt right at the time. No regrets yet, but they're definitely in the top end of the game where I kind of wish I had something else going on rather than a Grizzly Bear that flips a card at random. They put 7 mana in the pool, then started untapping all their lands. Oh good, they have multiple 7-drops to choose from, and they're deciding which one is best. Just where I want to be. Whoa, what was this? We'll never know what 7-drop they had in their hand and then change their mind about. Huh. I was not expecting that game to end in that fashion. Okay, I don't think Alpine Moon solves many of my problems here. It kind of turns one of their City of Traders into a 5-color land. You just like name Ugin's Labyrinth. I guess that locks the creature under it too, which does slow them down in the late game. Assassin's Trophy is a lock. I don't think Pithing Needle does it. Relic of Progenitus doesn't matter. That one can come out. That's easy. I don't think I'm going to try to Alpine Moon them. That's just a low impact permanent that also gets swept up in World Breakers, All Is Dust. The Destiny thing they revealed at the start of the game can exile this. I don't think that's where I want to be. Could shave a Wraith or the Nightmare. I mean, I even flipped the Nightmare that game and I was like, oh my god, and then actually surveyed the board and realized it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think I'm just going +2 Assassin's Trophy and down to cards that don't have high impact. Let's do it. This is a turn 1 Goyf, turn 2 Roots, ? Profit. I'm going to keep this. As soon as I find a discard outlet, I also have the full Asmo loop going with the roots and everything. They mulled to 5 and then had a Devourer of Destiny. Exiled Mountain, Linebreaker, Worldbreaker. Devourer goes under that. And then what? Then I shove NETHERGOYF and hope for the best. This is going to be off of a Blood Crypt to get all my colors. Okay, it's in there. The little homie that could. 4 mana. Thought Not Seer probably takes Roots or Daredevil. Yeah, more worried about Roots. I'm more interested in Daredevil. Come on, Wraith. Shadow Spear. I could also just, like, Beseiju this Ugin's Labyrinth. A channel is a discard, though, for Asmo, which comes up next turn but doesn't come up this turn. Okay. I'm going to leave myself the option to draw a land and maybe get free of this. Asmo's really powerful, but does require some setup. No! Now my Daredevil's gone and all of this sucks. Oh, they took an Asmo. Interesting. Okay. They're rolling the dice that I don't draw a land or discard enabler. Alright, deck. Land. I'll take a discard enabler too. Dang. And found another Asmo for my troubles. Tutor that thing. Cookbook. I will, I think, hold my horses. Do I play out Beseiju as a land at this point? I think so. Yeah, I'm just going to wait on the food. Because if they play another Thought Not Seer, I'd rather leave a Will Chase Daredevil in the graveyard where they can't exile it. But this does give them a chance to draw and represent graveyard hate if they have that. If it's surgical, it never mattered what order I did that in. Guess I just go to 3 here. I could double block one of these things. Nah, put me to 3. Hurt me. Come get me. Because I can start mowing these things down next turn. Hey, look at the thing I played around. It happened. They make Daredevil. Decline. They take the Asmo, and then I can discard literally whatever card I draw to get the loop going back again. Okay. Let's get back to life here. Here I will discard this card to make a food token. Which gets my Daredevil back. I can equip Shadow Spear to Asmo. That makes her big enough on her own to rumble with a Thought Not Seer. I don't think I should kill a Thought Not Seer yet. I can have an extra card in my hand right now, but also if they play like Reality Smasher, that's a card I need to kill more than this one. Okay, so I can block this one, which washes out this one with the lifelink, and then kill this one and keep my NETHERGOYF. Or I could just jump with NETHERGOYF and keep my life total higher. Asmo is not doing the damage here. Its target creature deals 6 damage to itself. Block. If I keep the Goyf, I stay at 3. This gets blown out by like any removal spell though, even Beseiju. I kind of want the Goyf in play. I guess I'd rather just have stable life and not mess around when it's this tight. I killed up Thought Not Seer. Draw a card. I get a trade. I get a chump. I draw another card. Oh, the roots. That's pretty good here if I can untap with it. I was just going to cast Daredevil, but now I got other stuff. Do you have the 4th Thought Not Seer? Okay. Myco Spawn is not a Thought Not Seer. Tutored Eldrazi Temple. 1 card left in hand, and they can still wish for this Devourer. Inti. The full operation is here. Okay. I do have to shock this in if I want to do both. Do I want to do both? I would have 2 blockers, and I would have to use them both. I could just play Roots, equip the thing. Yeah, I can't cast a spell here off of Inti, and I have to commit all of my land drops before I get to do anything. Okay, Insidious Roots get in there. Oh, I can cast Inti and then make the thing on their turn, and I at least get an extra card out of it that way. They're up to 7 mana, though. This is getting scary. My life total very low. I can chump with the plant, go to 2, and then untap with Inti and try to make something happen. Alright, cook these books. Oh no, they have a spell. This is bad. I was not prepared for a spell. Is this going to be a Kozilek's command? What else would it be here? It's they're tapping mana for an Eldrazi in combat. Yep, that blows out my graveyard and my blocker. That will do it. Okay, that was a tight one. It basically came down to that one turn where Asmo was stranded in my hand. I'll take that. That was fun. And I don't think anything changes about my sideboard plan. I'm just going right in. This hand is not defensible. I need to be coming out a lot harder than that versus this Eldrazi deck. This one's much better. I'm going to keep this, and I think I get rid of Seed of Hope. So Seed of Hope is the one that sets up the Asmo best. I think it's Seed, Trophy, or Roots. The argument for each, Seed of Hope is the one that is just sort of like, could be anything, even a boat. But I am looking for a Wraith or a Troll, or a way to turn on Asmo. The Daredevil's part of my combo, that's not going. Asmo's part of my combo, that's not going. Trophy's a removal spell, which is important in this matchup. Roots is an engine that is also important in this matchup, but only if I get Asmo in line. So I could go full combo and get rid of Trophy, or I could try to level out my experience and bottom Roots. I'm going full combo. Okay, they kept 7 and then they have a Devourer. I'm going to get Overgrown Tomb. I just want my mana to be great if I can help it. Seed of Hope. Found an Inti and milled an Assassin's Trophy, so that's one down of those. Inti is a discard outlet for turn 3, which is not the pace I wanted to be on for Asmo, but we at least found one. We exiled a Smasher, another Devourer, and a Temple. They got their 2 mana start. It's like they're saving for a 4 mana rainy day. Okay, another Seed. I could Seed, try to hit exactly Street Wraith and get Asmo online, or I could just shove Inti and get going with that. I think I want Inti. I'll take the sure thing on board rather than trying to cobble together something that might still miss in my hand versus the Known Thought Not Seer deck. Disruptor Flute. Okay. Naming Asmo with this is pretty effective. Naming Oven or Cookbook with it's even better. Yeah, that will be something I have to figure out. Line Breaker. Attacking me for 3 or for 4. Not going to be interacting with that. Okay, I drew a land, but it is not a colorful land. I think I just attack with Inti, discard Oval Chase Daredevil, see what's going on. I would like to flip a colored source here, so I can get my roots going. Flip to Goyf. Okay, I can play Asmo and tutor the Cookbook that I can't play because it costs 3. Playing roots here doesn't help. I think going Goyf plus Asmo is my best line. Okay, Goyf, Asmo, tutor the book, play Urza Saga. Alright, that's a lot of material in play. Unfortunately, their flute is phenomenal. NETHERGOYF's big, though. Happy to just chew up a line breaker if it comes in again. And I can double block bigger things because with my flute turned off, I'm not even that worried about Asmo. Myco Spawn gets a tutor. They have a Bajuka Bog, it would actually be kind of gross here. That makes my combat terrible for me. Still going for Temple, though. Myco Spawn is a 5/3. I will block it with Goyf. Yep, my pleasure. Trade those off. Another Daredevil, that's great. That lets me go into combat without too much fuss or muss here. Inti, attack. Do I want to attack with Asmo also? No, it's kind of keeping that line breaker chilling. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with Inti. Discard another Daredevil. This is a 4/4. Flip to Street Wraith. Just good deck building. Okay, like having the roots in play here is something desirable. I could also just make a construct and get my 2 Daredevils back. I would prefer to have roots in play at the time where that happens, though. And I'm not going to try to Seed of Hope and hope it hits a colored source. That's not the hope that my seed is springing from. Yeah, I do wish I had brought in Haywire Might. I didn't see the Disruptor Flute until game 3, but Haywire Might would be a incredible solution to this current board state. 4 mana in the pool. Okay, I mean, this attacks me for 6, which is a lot, but I'm not super fussed about the cards in my hand right now. Taking Seed of Hope does make my roots worse, though. Ooh, they took the book. That's already covered. Well, I'm happy for it, but okay. I'm going to have to take this 6 and then try to turtle up with plants starting next turn. Big plant game coming. I will trade Asmo for Linebreaker because she's not doing anything anyway. I don't have other ways to make food in the deck other than the book, which they just took from me anyway. Okay, I accept. Trade with this thing, take 6, and now we're in an Insidious Roots plant game. I drew Bloodstained Mire, which means I can make a construct and still cast Root or Seed of Hope this turn. The construct gets back the daredevils, which makes one plant and then another plant. And then I can tutor Shadow Spear. That's the one. And then I'd have to fetch Shock, but I do gain 2 life back. Oh, I should have attacked first. I'm still going to attack first, but that was a small sequencing error. And this is where I just flip a pain-free green source. Right, it was a daredevil. Unpunished. Fetch Shock, Seed of Hope. I'm at 4. I go back to 6 even if I miss here. I really wanted that to be a creature. Okay. Fingers crossed. This is the big turn. I could have just gained 6 off Inti. Maybe that's better than making a construct. Yeah, maybe I didn't fully consider the Shadow Spear in my deck when I made that choice. Loosey-goosey, baby. Now I just die to an All Is Dust. Well, they tapped all their mana, then untapped it. They did this game 1 before conceding. Fingers crossed. All Is Dust. Yep, that sucks. Yeah, losing the roots and every part of that engine is really bad for me. I think they should attack here. I don't think I'm going to block if they do, but I think I have more to lose than they do on this combat. They came to the same conclusion. I'm going to 2. Pyrite Spellbomb. Okay, so I've got Urza's Saga. I've got Pyrite Spellbomb, which gets back an Oval Chase Daredevil. That doesn't matter right now. I'm going to equip Shadow Spear and just be fully invested in this damage race. They need to find another thing because they're netting 0 damage per turn and I'm netting 4. So they do need a follow-up here, but any haste creature does it. Any removal spell does it. My plan was to just cast an Oval Chase Daredevil, but then I drew an artifact I could cast. They're functionally at 1. Yeah, Smasher. You got me. All right, GG. That was kind of fun back and forth. A lot of decisions made. If I had just sideboarded in Haywire Might, I think we beat this Disruptor Flute pretty hard. GG's, though. On to the next one. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw in round 4 with a lot of the pieces, but none of the payouts. I am going to keep this on spec. I think there's enough moving parts going on here that if I just find a book or an Asmo, we are in great shape. Academe the Undercrypt. Oh no. What deck plays that? I think I would rather fetch the Mortuary and get some card selection than play Shadow Spear on turn 1. Fetch, Mortuary, Swamp. Yeah, I'll keep a land. I can find use for that. Okay, I can shove Inti now. Why wouldn't I do that? Yep, shove Inti now. The roots aren't ready to do anything yet. And then Daredevil can be a free discard, and then Shadow Spear gets it back, and I get a plant. Necrodom. Okay, that's what's happening. Let's see how much they pay and how many soul spikes I get hit with in this end step. Okay, they paid 4. A conservative Necrodominance. They did soul spike my creature, exiling Bantu's Last Reckoning and Inquisition of Kozilek. I think I should cycle Straight Wraith here for the upside of if I hit Asmo, it's really good. Oh, I'm very happy with Cookbook also. Okay. Insidious Roots, Black-Green, Cookbook, and I can start pooping out plants at will. Phyrexian Tower, Shieldred. That doesn't affect what I'm doing right now. I mean, it kills me, but doesn't actually affect what I'm specifically doing. They can also just pay 19 now and have a bunch of life and a perfect hand. They did, in fact, pay 19. Okay. I'm yielding to shoulder triggers. They're at 39. Remember when I thought my hand was really good? There's a spike. Oh, shit. They passed priority. I missed a plant. I just lost track of who had priority there. I thought more was happening. Weird. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Every little bit's gonna matter here, and I just lost one. Yeah, bummed about that. Very stoked to find Asmo, though. Wish I had 2 damn foods in play to kill Shouldred with. Son of a biscuit. I will, though. I guess it's still fine. Asmo, get in there. Tutor a cookbook. Second cookbook. Make a food. Make another plant. I do still have a land drop. I'll cycle my troll and get, looks like Blood Crypt fills out my colors the best. And I think I should kill Shouldred now before they can, I guess they can't have any scam spells, before they could sack it to Phyrexian Tower. They're at 43. They're destroying Asmo. Good call. 43 is a lot of life, but there's only 29 cards left in their deck. Well, this is actually kind of an interesting spot. They've used 2 Soul Spikes already. Yeah, and they just drew 2 with Necro. I think we have somehow weathered the initial storm. Daredevil, make my plants bigger. Daredevil, make my plants bigger. I think MTGO is being a little laggy because I just clicked through priority again in a spot where I would have liked to play an Equipped Shadow Spear. I will just play out a Daredevil instead, which is also fine. I do need to do a bunch of damage to them, but I would have strongly preferred to have bashed with Shadow Spear there. Inquisition, now I just lose the Shadow Spear straight up. Okay, that's gone. You got me. And the One Ring, powerful spell. And they're back down to 2 cards in hand. Okay, I'm going to fetch now so I don't mess up my priority again. Seed of Hope, I'll take that. They just drew up to 5, 3 cards. Seed of Hope, let's go. A second Roots or an Urza Saga. Second Roots, baby, let's go. Haven't gotten to do this yet. Make a food. I'll do 1 now and save 1 for their turn. Oh, baby. Okay, I mean, they need to stabilize now. They have the protection of the ring at this moment. I can eat a food if I want to go to 15, which I probably do. I figure they have to burn me out with some spell from here, because they're not really winning a combat situation. Shouldred can draw a million cards again. End step. I'm going to eat a food now, just in case they have some way to fling a bunch of stuff and roast me. And I'm also going to Daredevil now before they draw some piece of graveyard hate that could make this weird for me. Okay, now I can F6 and let you do what you're going to do. Oh, wow. Wowee. That was insane. Insidious Roots just beating Necrodominance heads up. That was cool. Right, Haywire Might looks phenomenal. They have the Ring and Necro as targets. Trophy can also BTFO Necrodominance before it gets a trigger. Pick Your Poison does answer either one, but at sorcery speed. Vexing Bauble stops Soul Spike. I don't think I care about all this stuff. I think my tier list is definitely these 3, and then I will think about these 5 in some capacity. Pyrite Spellbomb doesn't seem very good. Relic of Progenitus doesn't seem that good. I mean, they're clearly a scam deck because they have the Malachor land thing in there. So that might just be black count for Soul Spike. I don't know. I still think Relic is not where I want to be, especially if they're a Necro deck that doesn't care about their graveyard. Poison and Bauble. I don't think I'm on Bauble. Poison clearing the One Ring is actually of my interest. I like the early beats of Goyf. I like Asmo killing Shouldred. And maybe a Wraith for a Pick Your Poison. Could just cut it 2 Wraiths. Be a little lighter on Asmo enablers, but still playing plenty of them. And look at that. We sideboard half of them out, and we still just end up with the full spread in the opening hand. They're a mono black discard deck. We might not actually get these cards, but it's there. It's on them to break it up. And they had Swamp Go, the Asmo, Glyphs, Asmo, get the book, and I'm ready to cook. I don't have green mana yet, which I would like, but I can go Goyf plus Cookbook next turn. But Grief confirmed. And we knew that already, but also, there it is. We pitched Fell the Profane, the card that we also saw last game. Took my book, sacked Grief for 2 black, and Necrodominance. Good stuff. Okay, how much do they want to pay? I imagine they'd like to find a Soul Spike. Yeah, they paid 7. If I find the green mana right now and can clear this thing plus add Goyf to the board, I'm going to feel really good. Did find Spike, exiled Agadeem's Awakening and Inquisition. I got to discard 2 into exile forever. Green source off the top. Green card off the top. Kind of like a green source, except the opposite of what I want. The literal opposite. Okay, I'm just F6'd and whatever they do here is going to happen. Urborg doesn't help fix my mana. This probably strips Pick Your Poison. Unless they're done Necrodomineering. No. Yep, that was my window to answer that card. Fatal Push. Oh, they are just kind of fair necroing here. Paid 5 and then went straight to discard. Dumped 2 lands. Land for Saga, land for Saga, land for Saga. NETHERGOYF. Bummer. Alright, well, I'll cast NETHERGOYF. At least it's something that applies pressure. They found a Shieldred, now they're doing stuff. Now you pay 11. Yep, they went to 1. 23. Cycled Street Wraith, which replaced itself immediately. This deck is very cool. I have seen this floating around. It's the first time I've gotten to play against it. And they soul spiked me rather than my Goyf. Okay. Goyf is smaller than Shieldred. I suppose that's fair. Now they have to discard 6 cards into exile. Drew another Asmo. Not what I actually want. Float a black. Tutor Cookbook. Discard one of the roots. Play Asmo with my floating black. I can kill Shieldred right now. Play the other book. Discard the backup Asmo. Roast Shieldred. Attack for 5. We're in this by the skin of our ass. NETHERGOYF is huge. Bigger than Shieldred at this point. We've seen Bantu's Last Reckoning in their deck. Inquisition takes my last roots. All in. The 1 ring. Boring. More like the 1 bore ring, right? Am I right? Am I right? Necro trigger. Just refilled up to 5. Bumping the brakes, taking their time. There's a Saga, get in there. Might as well equip to Asmo. Drawing a card in response. It's allowed. And they have protection from stuff. Shieldred. Hard mode activated. Now I gotta top deck a Daredevil. Okay, they played Boggart Trawler, not as a exile effect, which is good. If they just waited a turn on that, NETHERGOYF would be tiny. They paid down to 8. They're up to 28. They spiked me again. Ignoring Asmo. Probably means they have a line to the end here. Is that 3 spikes or 2? That's 3 spikes. Oh my goodness. Let's just draw the best possible card. I would like to discard a card and make a food token. What do you think, opponent? If they just have a removal spell for Asmo, they could blow me out. I don't have another card in hand. Alright, yeah, that works too. Okay, I end up with 1 food here, which is not enough for what I want to be doing. Insufficient food. Yeah, if I just had another card in hand, I could activate the other one and just get it all back, but not to be done today. Okay, I guess I just pass. I kind of move Shadow Spear onto NETHERGOYF, but NETHERGOYF blocking Shieldred is worth almost the same amount of life. Okay, they can draw their whole deck, and I am 1 Soul Spike away from dead here. So I actually needed to attack whether it's likely to work or not. Okay, you got me. Okay. That game would have been very different if I just had green to cast this Pick Your Poison. So that card actually did look like it would have lined up extremely well. Do I want the 3rd copy in? I think I want to lose a Roots. It just takes a little while to get that going. It's kind of hard to cast. I'd rather collapse their engine and then figure it out with my remaining Roots. I don't want to lose another Asmo Enabler. This hand, I can stick a Roots very early and then start doing Saga stuff. I'm pretty resilient to discard because my hand is all the same shit over and over again. But I'm also not really doing anything. And I have now seen Graveyard Hate in their deck. I think I'm going to try this. Against the known discard strategy, I think I want to just lock in the ability to do something. I can play out the Shadow Spear, and then if they Thoughtseize me, they can take one of these roots. If they scam a Grief, they get them both, whatever. But if I mull to 6, looking for something better, and they still have the Grief scam, then I'm in worse shape because I only have 6 cards instead of 7. Cycle to Wraith. They zapped in the Agadeem, and Inquisition will take one of my roots. This does make Surgical Extraction reasonable, because they could just use it as take your other roots. They didn't shove it in my draw step. They could wait for this fetch if they want. Yeah, looks like they are doing that. That's so annoying. Okay, it's fine. That will not take a future Daredevil. Now my hand has no spells in it, which means I can get Underground Mortuary and make some selection. Blood Crypt's out of here. Okay, disrupted by multiple spells on turn 1. Gothy Voidwalker suddenly appearing in the deck. Turns out I can answer that. I'm going to wait, though. I'm going to let it hit me for 3, and then I'm going to see if they play a Necro, because I would rather kill that. Bellmeyer tapped. Well, I will regain some card advantage versus this Inquisition of Kozilek, which they now know will miss. Seed of Hope. Okay, that card works now. Do I want to cast that card now? I think I'd rather make a construct and get the other Surveil land. I got a lot of mana. Childred time. I don't have a lot of answers to this thing available. Commercial District. Seed of Hope. Do I want to seed twice next turn? Yeah, I think that is reasonable card selection. Start dropping constructs that will be able to challenge the Childred. 1, 2, 3. Another construct. Tutor for Haywire Might. Equip this construct and smash. And tapping out of the Haywire Might I don't love, but getting this attack through Childred is pretty exciting. They're blocking. I don't know what that means for me. They either have nothing going on or their hand is so stacked that they can afford to just throw a Childred away. Okay, Bontus. That makes sense. If Childred was going to die anyway. Okay, Seed of Hope. Make something happen here. Found a Daredevil. Other Seed of Hope. Make something happen here. NETHERGOYF and Cookbook. I'm taking Cookbook because Cookbook discards Daredevil, which turns on Asmo, which is the card I drew for this turn. And we are in here. And they don't get to untap this turn. They got 2 mana to play with. Just passing back to me. Beseiju, wow. That's a pretty nice follow-up. Equip to Asmo. Attack for 4. I could still Beseiju because Asmo's a legend. And I'm gonna make my second food now while I know it's good. I'm actually gonna make both foods now because we've seen Graveyard Hate, but we haven't seen anything where I'd care about them hitting my hand with Daredevil in it. And they're done. Wow, they just didn't find one of their engine payoffs. No ring, no necro, and then their deck is just full of awkward cards. That was another really good match. This deck, regardless of viability or if it's tier 1 or tier 5 or whatever, makes for great gameplay. On to the final round.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I'm on the play in the final round with a turn 1 Asmo. Certainly not going to throw this back. The Chthonian Nightmares here too. I wonder if that card belongs in the deck. It's been just like kind of mid and weird basically the whole time. The spots where Nightmare would be awesome is I guess when you're doing roots related behavior. Oh my god, look at that cycle. If you're doing root stuff and you have a bunch of plants you don't mind sacrificing and you're getting back real creatures, that's probably awesome. We got a Sacred Foundry, Dragon's Rage Channeler. I am just going to play out... Oh, I should have got Blood Crypt last turn so I could get basic here. I guess now I know I'm against some sort of Sacred Foundry deck. Incentives are a little different, but I will still shock this in. Play my Cookbook, play my other Cookbook. I'm dumping out both books first, because if they do somehow have main deck Graveyard Hate, I want to be able to discard again in response to get my Daredevil back. So that's really the only thing I have going on. Should I just kill this DRC before it has any selection, or... I think I'm just going to hold. No attack, no kill, pass. Because if they play a Slick Shot, Show Off, I'd rather kill that. Lava Spike. Alright, so we've got DRC Burn. I do have some passive life gain in my deck, I just hope it's good enough. They just got that and they're passing. Black-green, it's time for Insidious Roots. Now I'm going to go completely insane. And then I'll just start holding up life gain starting next turn, now that my engine is completely operational. Now, this is the best this has been yet. The most perfect start we've had. Attack for 3. And I am going to kill the Channeler now. I have plenty of food. I could kill a second thing if it shows up. And them keeping this one lander, I'd really like to punish it. I can gain 8 life on board next turn. Yeah, okay, sick. Well, that was the best start we've had. Okay, it's some kind of Boros deck with Lava Spike in it. Pick your poison can turn off Delirium, and it's more passive life gain. Obviously bringing in Legion's End. Assassin's Trophy is probably where I want to be as well. Street Wraith seems risky. Insidious Root seems slow. Chthonian Nightmare, sorry buddy. This was your last chance. I was very excited to see this card in the list, but it was not showcased in this league, and it's not going to be. Okay, I think these are the easy ones. And then pick your poison can kill a Delirious Channeler or a Slick Shot or whatever. Haywire Might is more passive life gain. Turn the Earth is passive life gain that affects graveyards. And we've seen at least one card in their deck that cares about that. And maybe it's weird to cut one card that affects graveyards for a different card that affects graveyards, but Turn the Earth, the passive life gain on it, feels like enough upside that I'd want it over just a pure graveyard hate piece. Yeah, I'll try this. We really didn't see anything about their deck, other than that it contains Lava Spike. Great hand, Snapkeep. Dragon's Rage Channeler. You're in there. Tormod Script, okay. A reasonable thing to have after what I did in the last game. It also happens to be really good versus NETHERGOYF, but I just drew a different card that I could cast this turn instead. So I will. Seed of Hope. Pick up Bloodstained Mire. And now I'm at 22. Got him. Please play 2 more Dragon's Rage Channelers this turn, and let me end your Legion. Okay, I'm at 21. And I think I want a Legion's End and just see what this deck is about. I get to see their hand when this spell resolves. Either bolting in response, at least get a Surveil on the way through. Go to 18 life, 2 Flages, and Arena of Glory. Okay. They kept their card on top. There's the Arena. Are they going to send one of these Helixes at me? Did they draw a different card? Right, I've been Helixed. Kind of awkward to just cast spells into this. But it's also awkward not to cast spells. I could fetch Basic Swamp and go Inti plus NETHERGOYF. I think that's the thing I want to do here. This just does the most, and the NETHERGOYF might be enough to convince them to pop the Tormod Script. And I have Cookbook plus Daredevil ready if I can get past the Graveyard Hate. Okay, 4 mana locked up. If they can get their graveyard to a spot where Flage is live, it will arrive with haste. And they're going after Inti rather than using the Graveyard Hate to finish off Goyf. Goyf's a 4/5. They need to put 2 more cards in their graveyard to get Flage back. One of them can be that Tormod Script. Another Goyf. There's a Saga. I'm going to attack, see if I can flush this thing out. Okay. So this is going to kill my Goyf, which is fine. And then I just pivot and get my engine online. Okay, so Inti, Cookbook, discard a card, make a food. This also flips for Inti. Flip the Daredevil. Disappointing. NETHERGOYF, get in. And let's hope they don't draw a free way to put a card in their graveyard. Like a fetch land, I just get lit up by Flage right now. A spell they actually have to cast, so that won't do it. This thing has to fight. I go to 11. It would be sick to find an Asmo. Even Assassin's Trophy is fine. It's like something that deals with what's going on here. Uh-oh, a spell. Raven Charm, what the hell? Destroy target enchantment. Okay. I'll let them surveil one. And I guess I have to make the 3/3. Or, I don't know why I said 3. Oh, no, it doesn't know how to do that yet. Good timing. Yep, my bad. I'll float a colorless. And that does kill this at the correct time. I mean, upkeep's probably strictly better, but I still didn't get the construct out of it. And then I'm going to discard a card for a Cookbook, which flips for Inti. Seed of Hope, what's up? I get back the Daredevil. I can attack and discard Daredevil for Inti again. Or I can Seed of Hope now with this mana floating. Yeah, let's see what happens. Street Wraith. Street Wraith doesn't seem like what I want to be doing right now. I'll get back Bloodstained Mire. NETHERGOYF. I mean, I can do it. I have enchantment, land, creature, and instant right now. But that makes this NETHERGOYF little. I could just eat a food. Or I could just not be a coward and go to combat. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to go to combat. just with Inti. NETHERGOYF's big enough to absorb a Flage attack, so I'm going to leave that back home for a minute. Turn the Earth. What's up? We found the out. We found the out. Because I happen to have this green source in my hand. Fetch for Overgrown Tomb or Stomping Ground. I think Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground. I will turn these Flages to the Earth. And I guess I'll take the Tormod's Crypt too. If I can knock them off Delirium. That was a really good flip. And I can't flash it back this turn, but it is in my graveyard. Okay, I feel like I'm way ahead at this point. That was the thing we were counting down to. My life gain engine is kicking. Seal of Fire, okay. That's some Delirium-related nonsense. Kept their card on top. Hate that for me. They decided not to get Delirious here. I think I'm just going to gain 2 life. I can't imagine having 3 more life in this game to be a bad thing. And if I draw Asmo, I'm still in business. Did not draw Asmo. I'm going to attack with both of my creatures now. And I'm going to discard Urza's Saga. That's not what this game's going to be about. I'm going to discard the Saga to put a +1 counter on Inti. Bashing for lots of damage here. I can turn off Delirium with my Turn the Earth if they were to get it. Found a land anyway. I have, with my awkward timing, ended up in a spot where my Daredevil is in the graveyard. But I have also ended up in a spot where I am pretty hyped to just get this NETHERGOYF into play. Exile 3 cards that represent 4 card types. My number of card types does not change, and I have another 4/5 in play. All right, the first recursion of NETHERGOYF. That feels like a biblical moment. The first recursion of NETHERGOYF. It feels biblical, because I think it's over. Their hand better be something good. Raven Charm. Exile any number of target players' graveyards. Okay, so I'll let you surveil one. It's wild that didn't happen first. Okay. I might as well at least turn the Earth here. Or, oh no, I should have just discarded Assassin's Trophy to get my Daredevil back, I think. I could still do that, though. Yeah, I should have saved the fetch so I could Mortuary and get a card. Yeah, I messed this up. I just got too focused on one thing. That was not actually what was important. Okay, I'll get Overgrown Tomb. I will turn the Earth. Bolt, DRC, or no, the bolt doesn't matter. DRC, land. I'm going to affect as many card types as I can. And I would, in fact, rather have my food engine online than have Assassin's Trophy in my hand with a Hellbent opponent. Hellbent burn opponent with me at 14 life. Okay, here we go. They need something big. This one card has to be really good. I mean, there's Flage. It does kill NETHERGOYF. With Seal of Fire's help, it does kill Inti. Okay. Reasonable. Goyfs are back to 1-2. You're back to 12 life, and we are playing the game again. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay, I can just cast that. Alright, Troll of Khazad-dûm. I have to lose some life to do it, but this thing's so big. Boom. A Chungus Among Us. Attack for 4. I guess if they top deck a land, I maybe shouldn't have attacked that hard. Because if they top deck a land, they can give Flage haste and kill Troll, 6 me. Yeah, if they draw a land, I mean, I wouldn't want to chump block Flage anyway. But Magebane Lizard is not something I care about. My deck is almost all permanents. I play Seed of Hope. Make a food. Okay, big beats coming. They're taking at least 8 this turn. 8, 9. I can make this 9 with Urza's Saga. I could sack Cookbook, get back Inti, 1-2, then I attack. The Troll is, I think that's lethal. Oh, but I would, oh, I lose creature, but I gain artifact. Yeah, I think this works. All right. Target Inti. I think this is exactly lethal. Attack with all creatures. Inti discards Saga, which grows the Goyfs. Put the counter on the unblockable creature. And we got you for 10. Another very fun, exciting, rewarding back and forth game with this awesome Jund Food deck. Illegal. Try again. And they packed it up. A positive record with Jund Food. This deck was honestly a delight to play. I don't know if you're going to qualify for the Pro Tour playing this deck or whatever the highest level of your competition is, but this is a really nice league deck, phenomenal F&M deck. If you just like trying to solve crazy engine stuff in a high power format where you could just buzz with Nadu, but you're doing this instead, these are all reasonable things to do. The Chthonian Nightmare never came up. That's a free slot. NETHERGOYF was a unit, just really phenomenal, held its own. I do wonder if Troll of Khazad-dûm, a second one of those, is better than Nightmare, because we did have struggles in this league with both getting a discard for Asmo and with having our mana available. We are a 3-color deck with Urza Saga, so more mana fixing is not bad. We're not really doing anything with Troll other than cycling it, though, but I think mana fixing, turning on Asmo, and then later casting it as a spell, as an option, are enough things for it to do. That's really my only nitpick of the main deck. Chthonian Nightmare should just be Troll, or maybe another land straight up, or just something else. I think Troll is the right answer, though. It could be a removal spell also. Like, I know that we're a Seed of Hope deck, and we can't play too many non-permanent spells, but even just main decking an Assassin's Trophy, main decking the Haywire might be good enough. Now we're in the weeds, and you could choose that, just tune it for your metagame, but this is the only slot I didn't love in the main. Sideboard actually seems pretty well constructed. We played against 0 Nadu decks. Seems like everyone has a gentleman's agreement not to do that in the Moto leagues. This was genuinely a lot of fun. Mr. Toots, thanks for sharing it with us. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.